What's up? You are now listening to the smooth groove of Carolina Slimm. Boy, let's go. I'm finna take off on these niggas for real, ain't no more second guessing. Time been wasted and niggas been out here contemplating about which way to go. Oh yeah, I'm going up. I'm never staying down, I'm never being stuck. You see the music, the messages, and the melody. Put you in places on stages that someone never see. I'm ducking felonies, I'm ducking fuck niggas. I'm in the studio whipping up with some dope niggas. We mixing package, the rapping, and then it's straight to you. Then hit the scene with that bag, you know how players do. This one goes out to my niggas, that's out your rap hustling. Just keep your eye on the prize, don't let it stop now.
I woke up on a different type of vibe. Like what a day it is to feel fly. I put on my attire, hit the gas to boost up my high. I guess it's time for me to take a ride. Southeast side, this young quarter piece acting shy. I'm like, sweet, okay, you outside. Listen, I got you covered, this whatever. That's on my tab today, I'm trying to push my love inside of you tonight. Okay, that's a bet, we left, but later on we met. We crept, I clutch, she got that water. The boo-boo head fire, on me, oh my. Her tricks ain't for kids, shout out to whoever taught her. I'm splashing in the water.
When we step out, tripping like a faucet, we so fly. Bitches run up on us, we them guys. Been in corners, boss, and we so high. It's alright.
Yeah, been in corners like we're supposed to do.
It's alright.
Yeah, and we standing on the top looking over you.
It's
Ain't got no time for
alright.
that sucker shit. See me, I'm on the grind, I'm out here getting rich. I got my tunnel vision on, ain't got no time to miss. Unless it's with a real bad chick, tryna stack up dividends. Ain't got no time to lay ride on niggas tryna get down. I'm looking for a handout, I'm moving on up. Jefferson, when I step out, I'm clean as fuck. Foreigns, I'm pulling up. A fly fat nigga with big
It's alright when we step out, tripping like a faucet, we so fly. Bitches run up on us, we them guys. Been in corners, boss, and we so high. It's alright.
Yeah, been in corners like we're supposed to do.
It's alright.
Yeah, and we standing on the top looking over you.
It's alright.
Y'all motherfuckers make sure y'all tune into the E-Weed Media page, goddammit. Like, subscribe, and share this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's E-Weed Media, YouTube, Facebook, all platforms, Instagram, all that shit, man. Shout out to everyone in the motherfucking building. My nigga Gator the Bill. My nigga Big Business in this motherfucker. Yeah, like that. You now listen to the smooth groove. I'm finna take off on these niggas for real, ain't no more second guess. Time been wasting and niggas been out here contemplating about which way to go. Yeah, I'm going up. I'm never staying down, I'm never being stuck. You see the music, the messages, and the melody. But you in places on stages that someone never seen. I'm talking felonies, fuck niggas.
In the late night. We in the late night.
Yeah.
Away.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you out to the Late Night Podcast. I'm your host of Most Carolina Slimm.
That's him.
Yeah. That way, not Subway.
Yes, sir.
My boy to the left, who you be, my boy?
Man, this your man QZ, ball buddy from the Berg with the beard. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
My boy to the right, who you be, my boy?
Be boss man with the plan at y'all.
Yes, sir.
Hey man, I know y'all see a very special individual on the live tonight, man. We gonna get to him in a minute. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all wondering what he's here for, but we gonna get all into it. Gentleman to the left, what's your name, brother?
My name is James McQuilla.
Mr. James McQuilla is in the building tonight, man.
That's him.
Yeah, man. I know y'all ain't seen us on the late night in a long time, man. Life been lifing. You know what I'm saying? Right. Things been happening. You know what I'm saying? Handling business, being a daddy, and doing daddy duties. But we back to it, back at it like a crack addict, goddammit. Listen, man, you know how we do every time before we start the show, man. We do a quick mental health check, man. We check everybody top, everybody helmet, make sure everybody good.
Good space.
Boss man, what's going on upstairs, brother?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I feel grateful, man. Got a lot of work done last week, you know what I'm saying? Preparing for the week to come, you know what I'm saying? Everything looking good, man. I can't even complain, man. I love them sunny days.
Yes, sir, man.
I wish I could hit the woods a lot more. You know,
he wanna hug trees again, barefoot, hugging trees.
More trees.
Eat berries and wood.
Plant trees out this morning. You know what I'm saying?
Be one with the world.
Already.
But I've been respecting and loving that weather, man. So
dope shit, man. Dope shit. QZ, what's going on upstairs, brother?
Hey, man, I'm in a good space, man. Shout out once again, man, to the Odyssey Group. Shout out to Big Station.
Dope event,
man. Awesome event we come off of last night, man. The Cigar and Sundress Affair. Again, beautiful vibe, man. Just for Orangeburg, for the area, man.
For sure.
They never miss, man. So shout out to them, man. They're coming off a good week, man. Like you said earlier, man. Much daddy duties, regular stuff, man. Trying to get the boys ready to roll, man. I got my boy driving. So I'm taking advantage. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just kind of milking.
Shout out nephew, man. Nephew got that DL.
You gotta get it right. That's a fact.
Got that DL.
Official Uber. I don't pay for it now.
Show five.
You dig what I'm talking about? Getting them right, man. Trying to get them ready to roll, man. And man, life's good, bro.
That's what's up, man. Mr. James McQuilla, man.
Let's talk about
quick mental health check, man. What's going on with you upstairs, brother? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm looking forward to this election, which is September 9th. I do what I do. I'm the president of the chamber, so I'm working with a lot of businesses, working with the colleges, and trying to make Orangeburg grow in the right direction.
Okay. So we're gonna tap into that whole thing in a minute, man.
Yes, sir.
As far as myself, man, listen, man, gratitude is always the attitude. You know what I'm saying, man? Listen, man, every day that God let me be on top of the soil, I'm satisfied, man, and everything else is on me. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure I do my part. You dig what I'm doing? But anyway, Mr. James McQuilla, man, getting into you, brother. You are fitting to be the mayor of Orangeburg.
Talk about
That's what I'm expecting.
That part.
Fitting to be.
Country boy talk.
I'll be already calling the mayor.
Out with the old regime, in with the new regime,
Man,
right?
That's what I love that.
For a lot of people that don't know you, man, tell some people about your background and your history of where you come from and how you got to this point, man.
So it's interesting. I'm originally from Sumter, South Carolina.
Right.
Grew up in Sumter. Raised by my mom. Had two siblings, an older sister and a younger brother. I tell everybody I was actually born the year my mom was supposed to graduate from high school.
Wow. Okay.
So my sister was born her junior year. I was born her senior year.
Gotcha.
She didn't graduate, so she had to work. And 5 years later, she graduated from high school, and I was there. So I was at my mom's high school graduation. When
That's
I was
crazy.
5.
That's crazy.
You know, always enjoyed learning, and enjoyed it so much that I never missed a day of school. 12 years, perfect attendance.
Never, not one day?
Not one day.
Yeah.
You ain't never had the bubble guts or nothing?
But I went to school.
See, I work that out in school. Work that out in the He said, I work it out.
Hey, man.
Oh, yeah. I played football, played baseball.
You sharp as a tack,
had broken
brother.
fingers, broken wrists.
But you still went to school?
I went to school every day. That was me.
Yeah.
Then I went to the Citadel Military College.
Which I perceive is kind of tough, right?
It was tough.
Yeah.
You know, but I enjoyed it.
Right.
I mean, anyone who knows me knows,
You
and
like
you
the
can tell.
challenge.
Right.
You like a challenge.
And, and I issue a challenge all the time.
Right.
For sure.
So went to the Citadel, did well, finished that in 4 years, and then they asked me to stay, and I ended up being the Citadel's first permanent recruiter. So I did the recruiting for the school from 1988 to 1990.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna move past a lot.
That's a heavy position right there, though, man. That's a lot of responsibility.
It was, but I always felt that no matter what the responsibility placed on me, it was done that way for a reason.
Right.
So, did well. In fact, this is interesting. One of the first guys that I recruited to the Citadel just celebrated his 30th year working there.
Wow.
And he's exceptional. He's
Yeah.
done- I recruited guys that were, just speaking on Orangeburg, the chairman of the Orangeburg County Council is Johnny Ravenel. I'm sorry, Johnny Wright. I recruited Johnny's son to the Citadel, who's now an OBGYN.
Wow.
Okay.
I've recruited guys who became lawyers and officers and doctors and have done some great things.
So you got an eye for talent.
I think so.
That part.
The eye is for those who want it.
Right.
So when I was out there, I knew what they were going to be facing when they came to the Citadel.
Right.
Back then, hazing was pretty much legal.
Right. Already.
The pressure was going to be constant and every day. And if you didn't have it in you to enjoy that, right, to dwell in it, then you were going to leave.
Yeah.
Right.
That's an interesting word you say. Enjoy that. You got to be willing to accept that and go through and be prepared, proper preparation
Exactly.
for those tasks.
We'd go running, it'd be 100 degrees, and they would run up next to me and go, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I dreamt about this before you coming here.
I dreamt about
I
the
dreamt
struggle.
about
Yeah.
this. So this was my environment. But I take that attitude. My mom was always a very hard worker. So I had the work ethic that if she's working hard, I got to work hard.
Right.
I can't let her down.
No, definitely.
Right.
And
Definitely.
just being the oldest male, I always saw myself as the man of the house.
Right. Sure.
So she needed to rest sometimes. I'm young. I don't need to rest.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was that mentality.
Right.
So went to Citadel, got an MBA, I have a master's in business administration. I've worked in almost every industry you can think of. I've owned businesses. I managed a medical practice and owned it. My ex-wife was a physician. I was an associate municipal judge for the city of Lancaster from 1994 to 1996. I've been a financial advisor for Lincoln Financial. I've been the vice president of a construction company, a pharmaceutical rep, a VP of a diabetic supply company, an economic development specialist. I was an adjunct professor at Claflin. And for 10 years, I was a federal government contractor working with the Department of Defense.
Damn. So it's safe to say your resume hit the floor.
Yeah, I was trying to tell you that.
I was gonna look for how many more fingers you was gonna go.
Yeah.
Well, and in fact, there's been more than that.
Already.
But
Dope.
all, all of that prepared me to be an advisor for others who want to be in business, want to be entrepreneurs. I have a lot of different thoughts and mottos, and I tell people it's easier to stay out of trouble than get out of trouble.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I try to keep them from getting in trouble.
I smell that. I can smell that.
I tell them that the secret sauce for success in whatever you do is to do that over and over again for an extended period of time. And that's it.
That's it.
No matter what you do,
Right.
do it
Repetition.
over. Repetition for an extended period of time.
Them
Don't
10,000
quit.
hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't
Shout out to the
quit.
good brother Amos Clark, man. What's up, boy?
And you'll end up being the expert who's very good. Okay? You know, and then for folks who are in sales, which is the highest paying profession there is
Right.
because of commission,
Absolutely.
right? I say that if I have what you need, I have to sell that to you.
Right.
But if I have what you want, I just have to show it to you.
Yeah.
That's right.
That is
Okay.
a fact. That is a fact.
I don't have to sell you what you want.
What you want, right. Right.
I have to sell you what you need.
Right.
Because you will make a decision whether to buy what you need or not buy it.
Right.
Right?
What you want. Yeah, you already.
I know people who need their medication,
Right.
but they may be a diabetic. But they may decide, you know what? I'm not going to buy my medication because I hadn't been on vacation in 3 years.
Already.
And they'll take
Yeah,
that
right.
money and go on
Right,
vacation
go on
because they
vacation.
want
Right.
to go on vacation.
Right.
They want to enjoy some cake. They want.
Right.
If I have what you want, I just got to show it to you. But if I have what you need, I have to sell it to you.
Right.
So after you acquired all that knowledge, right, brother?
Yes.
What spent you in the direction of politics?
So I said for many, many years, I would never get involved in politics.
Right.
Because I can compromise on ideas, on projects, programs. I'm not going to compromise on my beliefs.
Right.
Okay? So I saw politicians as those who compromise on their beliefs, all so that they can maintain power.
Right.
That's basically what they do.
Right.
That's a fact.
So I said, I'm not going to get involved in that. Recently, being here in Orangeburg, I realized that we have so much at stake that the time was now that I take all of my education, my training, whatever wisdom I have, and I utilize that to better where I live, and that's Orangeburg.
Right.
Talk that talk, man.
The opportunity came, and I decided to take it.
Try to step in that
Facts.
spot, man. So,
Facts.
right now we have a current regime.
Right.
What are you bringing when you become mayor? Right. Notice how I said that.
Yes.
Right. Right.
When you become
heard
mayor, what are you going to bring? What regime are you bringing? What are some of the things you're implementing as far as how you're going to change the city?
So I have a platform that I call New Orangeburg. Because if you think about it, people always talk about old Orangeburg, what Orangeburg used to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
We need a new Orangeburg.
Okay.
New stands for next level leadership.
Okay.
I have nothing against, personally, the current leader. However, in business, we have this thing we call diminishing returns, meaning you can go as far as you want to go, but after a while, you don't have the
go no
ability
more.
to go any higher.
It's called a ceiling.
Really.
Okay? You capped out.
Right.
Yeah.
My abilities exceed the current mayor's capabilities.
Okay.
So I am that next level
Talk that talk.
in leadership.
Right.
The E is economic development.
Facts.
Growth in economic development will solve many of the issues that we have. Housing issues, homelessness issues,
Right.
crime issues,
Right.
healthcare issues. How can better businesses do that? You bring in strong companies, they have good health insurance.
That's a fact.
You have good health insurance, now you can go see the doctor more often,
That's
catch
correct.
things earlier.
Right.
You have a good paying job, you don't need to supplement your income with criminal activity.
That part.
Okay?
That's a fact.
When you bring in companies that pay people not only what they're worth, but gives them the opportunity to enjoy life, they'll want to put down roots. They won't want to leave here to go to Charleston.
Yeah.
It's too crowded.
That's correct.
It
Too
is.
expensive.
They're going to try to retire from that company.
They don't want to leave Orangeburg to go to Columbia.
Right.
Again, it's getting saturated. Even an investor knows that you want to get in
And get out.
on the bottom floor.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
You want to get in at the beginning.
That's right.
Because it's going
Ride
up.
that elevator. That's right.
We bring in better companies, higher wages. It's going to make the people who live here proud. When you have pride in your community, you don't accept just anything. You don't accept crime.
Right.
You don't accept trash on the streets.
Right.
You don't accept anything coming from your schools. You want it to be better.
Right.
You want everyone else to speak about your hometown like you now
That's
speak
right.
about your hometown.
With pride, yeah.
With pride.
Yeah.
That pride.
I said, within my first 4 years, there are 4 counties that people typically mention in South Carolina that you want to visit. Charleston County, Richland County, Columbia, Greenville now, and Myrtle Beach, which is in Dorchester.
Ori. That's
Right, Ori. I'm sorry, Ori.
Yeah,
You're right. I want them to talk about Charleston, Orangeburg, Greenville, and Ori.
So, because isn't Orangeburg like the second biggest county in South Carolina?
Orangeburg is the
the whole
second
fact.
largest county
Yeah,
by
yeah.
landmass.
By landmass, yeah.
We have more potential
Yeah.
than any other county in the state. Any other.
Right.
So why can't we be a place that has a casino that brings in as much money as Disney World? Why can't we be a place that has a college town that's known for academics and intellectuals
Right.
and not violence?
Right.
Why can't we be the county where the next major economic investment in the state is made?
It's made. Right
We
here.
should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But I kind of think like not to cut your wisdom, but I kind of think like aside, when you become mayor, I think a lot of things is going to happen when we start implementing new city and county council members. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
you're
And getting
100%
some of these
correct.
dinosaurs out them seats, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that when you have people, and I don't want to, I'm not disrespecting nobody about dinosaurs. We call them dinosaurs. I'm just saying you've been sitting in that seat for a long time.
Long time.
And and we need some new bodies in them chairs with new ideas. Is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
We need new
Fresh faces.
ideas, fresh new ideas. And I think if we can get that along with what you're wanting to implement, I think that we can see a big change in the city.
Damn right.
Let me attach this to what you were saying. Let's say that all of our high school teachers started teaching in 1980, but yet they're still here teaching at the high school.
Right.
What are they teaching the kids about the internet?
Right.
Nothing.
Okay. What are they teaching the kids about automation?
Right.
Nothing.
What are they teaching the kids about AI, artificial intelligence?
Right.
Right. What are they teaching the kids about virtual reality? They don't even understand
Right.
that.
Yeah, to be able to teach it.
Well, put that with government.
Politics, yeah.
If you've been here so long that you no longer understand being a visionary, yes, you were one 35 years ago.
Right.
But we all get diminishing returns.
Yeah,
Right.
that part.
Okay? You should prepare a succession plan
Right.
where you hand the baton off after training up others to understand basic government. You don't need to train me how to think.
Right.
You need to train me on the system of government.
Right.
City government, county government,
So
state
let
government.
me ask you a question,
Yes.
right? So when it comes down to that, right? How many people are in line to become new educators? Because it seems to me,
I just about to ask. the
it
same
seems to me
thing.
like nobody's in line to be the next educator. So the reason why these people have these positions is because, for one, they don't pay no money, right? And that's the number one thing for me. And I just told Miss Ferguson is this, Angela Ferguson, I love you, Miss Ferguson.
Shout out to Ann, Miss First. Nah, I can't even
But
call
I
her
just
Ann.
told her, I said that educators, guidance counselors, people that really are invested in the children
Right.
should make a lot of money because you got to think about it, right? These people spend more time with your children than you do.
You do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And I think if you would pay these people properly, I think that you would get a return on your investment when it comes down to their education.
No doubt.
But I kind of think that I'm not talking about the old school teachers, right? Because the old school teachers, they're gonna teach the curriculum or whatever is in front of them, and like you said, like all this new stuff, AI and all that,
Right.
they don't know that, right?
Right.
But they still are invested in the well-being of the child. So that's kind of important too, for me, right?
Well, yeah.
But-
And I've taught, by the way, I didn't
Yeah.
mention that, but I
Yeah.
spent 4 months as a substitute teacher teaching every grade, kindergarten through 12th. Never missed a grade.
Right.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, coming behind them,
Right.
what do we have? What does that look like?
Yeah, what is that?
Unfortunately, and fortunately, let's go with the positive first.
Okay.
Fortunately, you do have some brilliant-minded people who live here who know how to think differently.
Okay.
The problem is we have a political machine in this county that selects who they want.
Yeah, who their successors
Oh,
are.
okay,
And that lead to what I was just about to ask you, because I know you mentioned that as far as they don't have they playing this role but don't have successors. But like you said, they do have people, but it's
Right.
just people that's puppets that's falling into still yet an old tradition that's not a new innovative way to bring the city. You know what I'm saying? So it's just pretty much locking in some old stuff longer. You know what I'm saying?
People don't realize, I like to say the most powerful drug is power.
Power, yeah.
It's how it is.
Okay?
Definitely, yeah.
And see, I don't have to have a position to have power. You just mentioned it yourself.
Yeah.
Puppets are controlled by the powerful puppet master.
Right.
I don't want to relinquish my power. If I'm the puppet master, I don't like James McQuilla.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because you the direct opposite of everything that they stand on.
You will not,
Yeah.
cannot control me.
Cannot. Yeah. That part.
In
makes sense.
fact, I may end up controlling you.
Talk that
Before-
shit.
I will definitely
Talk that talk, man.
expose what you've been doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, my focus is not to create chaos and make other folks who have not done what I would have done, I'm not going to bring them to task. I'm not the judge.
All right.
What I am is a leader who is focused on moving us forward.
Yeah.
That
Really.
part.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Mr. go ahead.
Real quick, you spoke earlier, man, about the unique set of circumstances and the unique infrastructure that's already in place here in Orangeburg and Orangeburg County specifically that just isn't really being taken advantage of. Maybe not, I don't even want to say taken advantage. It's just not being utilized.
Right.
To be honest with you. Give us a little perspective on how we as the community can take advantage of that infrastructure, but what you plan to do when you become mayor with said resources and the infrastructure that we have.
Okay. So I like to think of Orangeburg as a hub.
Right.
Right? Most people, if you think of hub, let's say you're thinking of the Atlanta airport. What does that mean for Atlanta? It means that Delta, United,
Right.
this one, Spirit
Right.
Up, Spirit, everybody, Frontier, everybody flies into Atlanta and then gets dispersed everywhere else. But Atlanta benefits from that
Right.
because everyone's coming in. Orangeburg is near the center of the state.
Right.
With
It's
all
kind of the
of
same
these
way.
entry
No way,
points.
that's a
That's
fact.
We are a hub. We can collaborate with the University of South Carolina, whether it's our city or our universities, because they are an hour away. We can collaborate with the Medical University of South Carolina, the other big research
Right.
university,
Right.
plus a bunch of other colleges. We can work to make sure that things that's coming from the port, right?
All right.
We could have an inland port here where certain things that can't get to their destination immediately that may need to go to
They stop
Greenville.
in this hub.
That's right.
Yeah,
They
the
stay in
warehouses.
Orangeburg.
Yeah.
We can we can build warehousing for that. Okay.
Yeah.
If we give everybody a voice, what we'll find out is that the things that I think about might be better if I added what you think about.
Absolutely.
Or
Right.
I might need to say, you know what? My thinking is off, but what you're thinking about,
Right.
that's
Spot on.
better.
Right.
When the first phone came out that had a camera on it, you got to remember, I'm from a time where
It wasn't like that.
wasn't that right? So I said,
You had a
to
rotary
myself,
phone.
Yes.
Right.
Look, we had a party line when I was growing up. I don't even know if y'all know what that is.
Come on, man.
we
Talk
know.
about
Okay.
it. Come on, man.
Okay.
Everybody call everybody on three-way.
Yeah.
We used to
Come on,
pick up
man.
the
What we
phone and
talking
be
about?
listening to other people.
Yeah.
So,
Come on, man.
but so when they first came out with this idea of a phone with a camera on it, I thought it was stupid. I was like,
Right.
we already have cameras. What do we need a phone with a
Right.
camera, right? But somebody else thought about that, and what has happened?
Man,
It's
I'm
taken
telling
over.
you, that's,
Right.
So,
I call it the best, worst invention ever.
that's a fact. That's a whole fact.
but see, without DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, that wouldn't have happened. You have to understand, diversity is the mother of innovation.
Yeah,
okay?
definitely.
Diversity gives birth to all this newness because you think differently than me.
Yeah.
You think differently than him.
Right.
You think differently than our audience, right? And when you create something different, that moves us forward.
Right.
Again, I may want something to be one way, but if I listen to young people, I'm going to develop something that no one else has.
But you know what? You know what's funny though, and not to go too far off script, right?
Yeah.
But what's funny was you made a very important point with DEI, right? But it's funny how they turned it into something else.
Absolutely.
Right.
They just turned that shit into something
That
they had nothing to do with that.
What it was about.
You get what I'm saying?
Was just hurting that campaign.
Right, like so it makes it sound crazy when you say that if for the tender ear listener that's
Right.
not invested in what that really means. You know what I'm saying?
So listen, we can turn it right back around. Let me tell you why. Who created the idea of taking a word and giving it a totally different meaning? You want to know who? Black people.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we did that.
We took
Right.
the word
Right.
COOL,
Yeah,
which was a temperature,
yeah,
to mean a low temperature,
Yeah.
right? To mean something hot.
That's a fact.
I mean, that's
a fact.
cool.
That's
Yeah,
fact.
that's cool.
Everybody's
Yeah.
like,
That's
no,
fact.
we changed.
Shout out good brother Quincy on the line, man. What's up, brother?
What's going on,
Yeah.
family?
So if we can take any word and create the meaning or change it,
Yeah,
then we can correct
right.
how people think about DEI.
Yeah. So I got something I want to ask you, man. That I think is very important to the city, and I think that is very beneficial because we have a problem with our youth, right?
Yes.
We have a real problem with our youth, man, and I think that they are not being. I don't think that they're being cared about in a certain light, right? When I say that, I'm saying as far as like, I remember back in the days we used to have summer programs and all
Free
these different
lunch and all that good
programs
stuff.
that the kids had something to do in the summertime, right? And I kind of think that we need to get back to that because at the end of the day, these children are really crying out for like some attention, right?
Something to do.
And we also know that we have a large group of people in the city that are single parents,
Right.
right? That do not have the resources to put their kids in certain programs,
Right. I mean, that's how
or-
it came out.
or do not have the ability to do it because they got to go to work,
Right.
Or however it may be. But I think that we need to invest more into the youth in the city because I think that will slow down some of the criminal activity.
Definitely would.
So you're right. We do need to invest more, but we need to be careful about how we're investing in young people. If you're hungry, and you've heard the Bible proverb, If you're hungry and I give you a fish, then I feed you for the day.
But if I teach you how to fish,
then you're fed for a lifetime.
right.
Absolutely.
Right? We don't need to bend to the whims of a child.
No.
Right?
No.
But what we need to do is act like adults
There you go.
and teach them things that are going to benefit them for advancing themselves.
Right.
I spoke a little bit earlier about perhaps there are a lot of kids who are interested in entertainment. Turning part of the mall into a sound stage where
Right.
they can make movies, where they can do podcasts.
Because
where
it's nothing there. So
Right. But that's something you can sell. I have friends who do this. Right.
Right.
I went to high school.
that's a dope idea, man. I like
Yeah,
that.
he broke that down.
Yeah, that's a dope idea.
I went to high school with a friend of mine who's a really good football player. We had great football players when I went to high school. He was younger,
Right.
played football in college, got a sip of water in the pros, right, for a little bit with the Jaguars. And then he did something I did actually coming out of college. And I wish I would have pursued it, which was acting. I've been in movies. I've been on TV. I've done different things. But I was focused on my job. I only did it because they came to Charleston, right?
Oh, right, gotcha. Okay.
He got in a lot of different movies. And then he said, James, you know, I started learning this industry. He said, you know what? He goes, I have 6 TV shows on right now, and none of them are in the U.S.
Wow.
He goes, just in the U.S. alone, he said there are about 400 networks, and they're all looking for content.
Yeah.
Right?
Very
He
much
goes,
so.
but that's just the U.S. He says, I have TV shows in Australia, Great Britain, right, that he films in the U.S. and then sells that content over there. There were what? I think, and I could be wrong, 52 countries in Africa, right?
Okay.
They all have television shows,
Yeah.
movies. They need content.
I got you.
We could produce, excuse my voice, we could get the young people here who are interested in doing that.
Right.
We have an acting school at both SC State and Claflin.
Right.
They
I never knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Never knew
Drama
that.
department.
That's right.
Yeah.
They could be producing television shows and movies
Right.
that are not sold on Tubi,
Right.
but are sold to countries.
Yeah,
Countries, yeah.
Because across this globe, nothing is more exciting than African American culture.
That's
Yeah.
a fact.
What
Right.
we
That's
do,
a fact.
Right.
how we think.
Natural stuff to us is something
Yeah.
beautiful to them. Yeah,
To
yeah,
everyone,
yeah,
they
yeah.
copy. They
That's
want to
a fact.
see
They
it.
want to
Right.
see it. They want to be like it.
That's
They
a
want to
fact.
emulate it. Yeah.
Why can't Black Hollywood be in Orangeburg? There's no reason it can't.
Yeah.
We have the space. We have the talent. We have the young people.
Right. So how do we get the funding for that? Where does that funding come from?
So-
And before you answer that, on top of that, I want you to speak on that space too, because a lot of people probably don't understand the dynamics of the diamond in the rough that Orangeburg is, with
Right.
the space and the population, like you was
Yeah.
kind of breaking down before.
What I was saying earlier was that Orangeburg is the second largest county in the state. We have 2 interstates that come through here, which means
I-26 and 95.
and 95 is the most traveled interstate in
Yeah,
the country.
in the country, yeah.
We have 2 railroads, railroad
Companies.
companies that come through. Okay? We have a large technical school. We have the largest freshwater source, which you need for manufacturing, by the way. You need water. Okay? We have 14 industrial sites that are in Orangeburg that already have spec buildings. Everything you need for infrastructure, we already have. What we don't have is a voice in the State House that brings the money and brings industry.
Already.
Now, I'm not running for a state
Legislative.
elected position. However, by being the voice of the City of Orangeburg, I can speak to folks at the Department of Commerce. I can get with our elected officials to make sure that we get some appropriations. I can get with our senators, because I know them. I know Lindsey Graham. I know Tim Scott. When I was at the Citadel, Tim was at Baptist College, which is now Charleston Southern.
Already. Okay.
I know, our Brad Hutto, who's the Democrat senator. I know all of our representatives, and they're all Democrats. But we have 2 Republican senators, and a lot of people didn't even know it. Tom Fernandez and Jeff Zell. They represent us now. They can speak to the Republican power structure on our behalf to make sure that we're now chosen.
Right.
We've got to learn how to work within the system in order to benefit from the system.
Right.
Facts.
And that's when feelings can't be involved. Whenever you feel like this party, you don't like this, you got to take the feelings all the way out of it and handle business, man. That's how men do it.
Yeah, just opening up the mindset in the county and in the city specifically, just to something different. Just like you said earlier, is just already just in itself is a breath of fresh air. I just think in general, we would benefit 10 times over just from having new voices, new ideas, just fresh blood. Because
new cologne in the building,
you
goddamn.
You know what I mean?
Let me ask this. So MUSC, there are 3 major research universities in the state: Clemson, USC, and the Medical University of South Carolina.
That's what they call it?
Right.
Yeah, MUSC.
I don't know about that one.
Who owns the hospital in Orangeburg?
MUSC.
MUSC.
Yeah.
So we're already connected to that research university. Are y'all familiar with nanotechnology?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the biggest research universities in nanotechnology is the University of South Carolina, but nobody talks about it. I've done the research. Here, I mentioned earlier, South Carolina State, you can get a bachelor's all the way up to a PhD. Why aren't some of our doctoral students working with the folks in nanotechnology at USC? Why aren't some of the MBA students, right, working with the big finance companies that deals with private equity, venture capital, right? Why isn't it just a normal progression? Why is it that South Carolina State University has the only bachelor's in nuclear engineering in this state, right? And it's taken so long for a full relationship to develop with the Savannah River nuclear site. The state of South Carolina has at least 6 nuclear power stations. There are probably 40 other states that don't have 6.
Yeah, I was about to say,
But yet, where's the relationship between Duke Energy and the students at the nuclear engineering program? Where's the relationship between Dominion Energy and the students at SC State? Where's the relationship between Summer Nuclear Power Station in Jenkinsville and the students here, the nuclear power station in Rock Hill, the nuclear power station in Hartsville?
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If you think, do you think that if it wasn't an HBCU, right? If it wasn't a predominantly black school,
right?
Do you think that it would have been different?
I think it would have, but that's not an excuse.
No, it's not.
Right. So, whether you're an HBCU or a predominantly white college, your leadership it's responsible for your growth.
For connecting them dots,
Right. Just because you don't know someone doesn't mean you can't get to know them. And what I mean by that is, I may not know who runs the Savannah River Nuclear. In fact, they have a new CEO, I think, within the last 2 weeks. However, I'm the only school in this state with a bachelor's in nuclear engineering.
Right.
Let's have a conversation.
Right.
President to president.
Yeah, we need to meet.
Yeah, but but ain't that's when you like have these dinners, like when you have these $500 plates and you invite certain people there, and then they come, and then that's when you discuss this type of stuff.
Yes.
They gotta come. They gotta come first.
Yeah,
That's the problem. They ain't coming.
As the mayor here, right? I have a lot of contacts all over this, not only this state, but throughout the country. I have contacts in Africa. I have contacts in the United Arab Emirates. I have contacts that are friendships with major developers in South Carolina, bankers, the biggest banker, South Carolina, real estate companies, lawyers, CPA firms, friends that I can bring to this community to help us grow in the right direction.
That's what's up, man. Well, we definitely need to tap into those resources, man, and just make certain that we make a turn in a direction. Shit, we've been doing the same thing forever. You know what I mean?
I'm tired of that song.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So no, that's awesome.
What is the old adage? Doing the same thing the same way over and over again and expecting a difference.
It's insanity.
Right. Why are we expecting a difference? We're doing the same thing.
I'm kind of glad you said that, because I wanted to get on some education tip that a lot of people don't know, and I think that's why they're acting in an insane way right now. It's because they don't have understanding on politics and structure and the zoning laws of the area. So I kind of wanted you to speak on that as far as when that election comes for you to run to be mayor.
Right, that's a good
how
point.
does the voting process go with
work?
that? Because I know there's a lot of misinterpretation on what people expect, which we would think would be common sense on voting for a mayor, right?
Right.
But it's not, and they do that on purpose. I would like for you to speak on that a little bit.
So the mayor is only the mayor of the city of Orangeburg.
So if you live outside the city of Orangeburg, you
cannot vote.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to know why? We have 17 towns and we have several unincorporated areas in the county. There are 17 mayors in the county of Orangeburg, more than any other county.
That's crazy.
Okay, let me say this. If I were in Utahville and I decided to drive to Woodford, you know where Woodford is in North, right? It would take me an hour and 40 minutes. If I get on 26 and go towards Columbia in an hour and 40 minutes, I could be in North Carolina.
Yeah, I was just about to say you would be in Asheville. I can tell you that already.
Or I can just cross Orangeburg. That's how big we are.
Yeah.
Orangeburg, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody might want to check this, the county is bigger than the state of Rhode Island.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, what's so big? You're right.
I would like to check that. I'd like to know that. That's dope.
I mean, if you look at the map, I'm just getting the visual of
That
Rhode Island.
just tells you
Yeah,
that we have the potential to be the heartbeat of this state, the hub of this state. But we're going to have to do things differently. Our young people don't need to even think that criminal activity is an option.
Right.
They don't even need to think that it is their only way to get what they really want.
Right.
Yeah.
They need to be able to look inside of Orangeburg and go, I can do this.
Right.
I can do that.
Right.
I can do whatever I want
Right.
in Orangeburg.
Right here. Yeah.
I can own a restaurant. I can make records. I can make movies.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I can become a RN.
Right.
I can become a PhD. I don't need to do anything that could harm me if I want to help Orangeburg. Because I don't even have to leave. Now, I can.
Right.
But even if I leave and go to law school
Right.
somewhere else, and what? Orangeburg used to have a law school. Did y'all know that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I did.
Orangeburg used to have a law school. But anyway, if I go to law school at USC or Duke, Northwestern or Harvard, then I'm going to come back to Orangeburg.
Bring that back, yeah.
Because I can do everything I want, even in Orangeburg. I don't have to live in New York, excuse me, to be the lawyer for a big bank that's in New York.
Right.
Why? Technology.
Right.
You don't have to live where you work anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So it's important that we understand to add value back to where we come from.
That's
Man.
whole
Exactly.
part.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's like I see a lot of people. They say, "Oh, Orangeburg don't got nothing to offer." They move away to take the talents to South Beach,
Right.
like LeBron did.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, we got to invest in ourselves, man. So
Got to.
I think that should be the new motto. And when you become mayor, I really feel like you're a visionary, right?
Yes.
I really feel like you are going to set a new standard for the city, man. So, like everybody, man, tap into Mr. James McQuilla. He is the guy.
That's that man.
That's that mama. That go that man.
I see.
Just as an aside, I'm not gonna let him blow by that. So like, Braun did bring a chip back to Cleveland. I'm just saying, you tried to slide that in there real smooth. I wasn't gonna let him do that. So that was
What I love about that
Finish it.
was
Stay
that,
on back. There you go.
Cleveland's
Right
not his
there you go.
hometown,
Right.
it's the
Right.
state,
It's
right?
Akron. There you go. Right. Where you go. Right.
You,
But there
you
you
may
go.
take your talent somewhere else,
go.
but bring them back to
You brought it
Orangeburg
on
so that
back
we
to the
become
house.
the
There
champion.
you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Brought
yeah.
it back to the house. Right.
That part.
But I mean, that wasn't like a, you know,
Right.
It was a.
Just a little clarification right there.
yeah,
So
it was
yeah, don't come for bro. Don't come for
But
bro.
listen,
like that.
so when is the when is voting start?
Reminder.
So the election is September 9th.
Right.
That is the day. There will be early voting about a week before then. So,
Okay.
but it's this year, September 9th.
September 9th.
Oh,
So
really?
everybody that's watching right now, you have to understand that you have to be a citizen of the city
The city of Orangeburg.
of Orangeburg in order to vote.
Stay in the
I
city.
don't,
Register
you know,
to
I
vote.
understand this man came up here and said some good stuff, but if you live in the county, man, you just gotta cross your fingers and your ass and make and tell your grandmama who live in the city to go
That's a
vote for
fact.
the
Yes.
city.
Yeah.
Vote
Man,
for
vote.
my
That's a
man.
fact.
And I'm
You know what I'm saying?
gonna add one to that. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is, don't complain about what ain't happening in Orangeburg if you're not making those steps that bruh just called just now. Because
Yeah.
if you want to see a change in order, you see the potential in this city right here without James even saying that. Because most of us see it without him even
Fact.
saying nothing. Right.
Right.
If you see that potential, take the action to get the votes in. The voting is the most important thing, because you could think a good thought all you want, but if
Right.
you don't put that on that ballot,
Right.
boy, you'll have somebody in y'all you ain't want to see.
So like another thing, right? I know like a lot of people been saying that the city feel kind of stagnant and everything is just is just running in place. This is a new idea, a new visionary, a new chapter for the city. So let's make sure that if we're not here to sway anybody to do anything, but just pay attention to what's going on now and understand what you want to go on in the future. So if you want some motion, Mr. James McQuilla gonna be your man.
Talk about it.
You understand what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna throw something else out there. I'm gonna ask a favor from James, right? So
Yep.
when you become the mayor, right, can you grace our podcast again and help us put some folks in that city council position?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Absolutely.
education is needed
Absolutely.
to be able to, you know what I mean? Because like I said, a lot of folks might have a great idea, but they don't know the know-how to get there or how to see that change. You know what I'm saying?
Two-way street. I always say that everything's a two-way street, right? I'm willing to come back as mayor, but I need y'all to come to the city council meetings.
Oh yeah, most
for
definitely.
sure.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
And we're gonna bring some people with us.
Bring them because they need to see what's going on hear what's going on,
Right.
and then ask us why.
So
Why?
I'm gonna ask this
Why?
question in front. I'm gonna ask the question because I got some people on the line. In order to vote city council, is it the same process?
Yes. So here's the thing. September 9th is only the mayor's race.
Right.
We have 3 city council positions that are open.
Right.
That election is in November. Districts 1, 3, and 5 are all up for re-election.
Okay.
So that's Stroman, Kit, and Hannah.
Okay. And the same things apply in terms of having to be in the city limits to vote.
Yeah. Well, you have to actually live in their
Live in-
district.
live in
Yeah,
their
the
district to
districts,
vote.
right.
Yeah,
That part.
So
yeah, right,
either
right.
look at your voter registration
Right,
card.
right.
It'll tell you which district,
Right,
or
right.
just go by or call
Okay.
voter registration and say, "Hey, check my record. What district do I live in?" And if you're in 1, 3, or 5, you have an election coming up.
Yeah, and that's something that's a good segment idea too. Political education.
Yes.
I know we do this a lot. You know what I'm saying, with the union as far as getting workers, familiar with their legal labor rights and all that. But political education is something that I think all of us should have got through school. But I think it's something for, if we really want to see a change, we got to start facilitating political education within our community so that folks know. It might not be me and you, because I know I have no desire to run for no position, right? But who's to say my little homie don't?
Right.
Or who's to say my homegirl don't have that ambition to say, you might not want to do it, but if I knew how to do it, I'll go handle that.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what we needed to see. We sitting there crying about something we ain't got when the person who could have did it was sitting right next to us, and we ain't
Don't know
aiding
how
the
to do
system
it.
to get
That's a
there.
fact.
So,
Yeah.
just throw that out there in the air.
Hey man, listen, man. Next week is another week, man.
Yeah, that's
Definitely
a
is.
fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Listen, man. Like I said, the earth is the turf. Earth is our turf, right?
Right.
Yes.
God gave it. He gave it to all of us, right?
That's a
We
fact.
own that.
Big plans. Anybody got big plans? QC, what you got going, bro?
Hey man, next week we're right back at it, man. Right back to work, man. Like I said, as always, QUEZE Perspective Intro available on all streaming platforms. Working on a lot of new music right now, man. So we got it brewing. We're working, man. We're working.
Hashtag working.
That's it. Always
that
working.
part.
That's a fact.
Mr. James McQuilla, man, what you got going on next week, man? You got some big plans? Anything you want to share with the people?
I'm like everybody else. I'm working on some things.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I would ask. My regular job is being over the chamber.
Right.
Check out orangeburgchamber.com.
Okay.
If you look at it, you're going to see we change that website every week. There's new stuff going on, right, from all of our members. We have a community calendar that you could put anything on that calendar.
Oh, wow.
So orangeburgchamber.com. I'm working on our business expo. That's going to be coming up soon. And we have a board meeting this week. So I have to make sure all that's taken care of.
Right.
I'm also over Leadership Orangeburg. So I run that program throughout the whole year.
Okay.
So I'll stay busy.
That's right.
Good stuff, man. Boss man, what you got?
Like I said, we got some action going on this week. Preparing to shoot down to Louisiana for a week. Making some noise, man, fighting for some rights, you know what I mean? That's what we usually do. I can't go into detail because it's legally covert operation, you know what I'm saying? But I do respect the fact that we got lawyers on deck, though.
Yeah.
You gonna need some security too?
They do, huh?
Security on deck, too.
Okay, I was about to say.
Our security got lawyers to back them, so we know the laws.
Okay.
All the way down the road.
I just want to know why I need to be worried about you. That's all.
Just proper preparation. And I only said that much just to say it's something I learned through this process of that duplication. Anytime we planning for stuff, when it comes to revitalizing the city or taking action on different things in our community, it is a legal way to do it. And that's the part I think a lot of us don't get training on. They go back to that political education thing.
Shout out to the good brother Hammer, man. Hammer checking in. What's up, brother?
What's going on, bro?
Hammer said we are his favorite smart hood niggas.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's the new tag.
Yeah, man.
Put that on my hand.
Hey, look, I'm picking up what you're putting down,
you
nigga.
already.
Yeah.
But that's it, though. Just wisdom, man. That wisdom. And even when you looking at a lot of the issues we got in this city, legal consultation is very advisable, I want to say. Just to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times folks don't, like we got a lot of great ideas, but sometimes check the law. Because our great out there might be illegal. You know what I'm saying? That's what,
Just so
that's what be
maybe.
getting us jam up when we get pull over. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know no better. We thought the world was running off common sense, but it don't. They run off legal sense. So
True.
yeah, I'm just saying that much. You know what I mean? But yeah, great week.
Yeah, man. As far as myself, man, listen, man. Like I said in the beginning, gratitude is always the attitude, man.
Absolutely.
Listen, man, I'm thankful for everything, man. I'm thankful for just waking up in the morning, man. Thank you, God, for everything you provided for me and my family. And I really appreciate you watching over me and holding me down for all these times. So I really don't have nothing to complain about, man. Next week is going to be another week, man. We're going to go get to it, man. The bag is there. I got to run and get it. Because guess what? The white man going to put them goddamn bills in my mailbox. So I got to go get it, man. I got to go get it, man. Take care of the family. Other than that, man, life is good, bro. We ain't got nothing to complain about.
Can't complain, man.
Yeah, man. It's somebody that doing worse than me, so I ain't gonna sit up here and say.
I know this.
I ain't gonna sit up here, man. But listen, man, we thank you for coming on the show tonight, Mr. James McQuilla. And when you become the mayor,
Yes.
we need you back on here again. The grace with your presence, and just let us know what you're gonna implement. Let us know how you're gonna run the city, man. And we thank you again, brother, for tuning in with us, man. Thank you for allowing us to have you.
Absolutely.
Feelings mutual.
We appreciate
It's always
that.
mutual.
We
Go both
appreciate
ways.
My boy to the right, who you be?
And I'll be boss man and man with a motherfucking plan out here.
My boy to the left, who you be?
Man, it's your man QZ Ball Buddy from the Bird with the Beard, man.
Good brother to the left, who you be, good brother?
I'm just James McQuilla.
The next mayor.
The next mayor.
You got to put a handle on you. That's one I think you can rock with.
Yeah, I'm the host with the most, Carolina Slimm, man. We out, man. Late Night Podcast, man. Later on.
It's all about stick and move. Can't wear other niggas' shoes. Making decisions, precision. It's all about power move. Lay low and stack your bread. But what them niggas said, they out your broken, disgusted. Them busters broken stay. It's all about everything. Ain't all about diamond rings. Take care of your people, my nigga. Make sure your family straight. Grinding and shining, nigga. That's part of the game. Shining by yourself, the nigga, your bitch ass lame. This ain't no fun out your ballin' by yourself. You end up getting all the calls called by the real. The only one to blame in the game is yourself. Now nigga on the bench looking sick, needing help. Now was it worth the power in numbers, nigga? The world is yours, so put your niggas on the floor. And boy, I bet you everything you want is in your hand. Till your homie gon' take a stand. Still wanna be the man. My girls is rolling, nigga, out your door, and I'm just living my life. I'm just living my life. And if you ain't my grind and shining, taking care of mine, then you ain't doing it right. See, when you on your grind, you don't got time for all that petty shit. You living your life. I'm just living my life. So tighten up your pants, stay far from them saying your name. Make sure you doing it right. Make sure you doing it right. Make sure you doing it right.
Big shit, man.
Hey, listen, man. I just want to thank everybody for supporting the Late Night Podcast, man.
Yeah, big shit, man.
Hey, give them a round of applause. That was
Big
least.
shit already, man. Damn
You know what I'm saying?
Even if your teeth is tote.
Even if you got the base yellow teeth, man. Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. All the niggas that don't wear the deodorant that watch this shit, man. Thank y'all, man.
We got some shirts.
Yeah, man.
We got some shirts. We got some shirts.
You know, all the dirt. Hey, listen, man. I'm shouting out all the dirty dick niggas that watch this shit, man. Thank y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? All the women right here that sell their food stamps that watch this, man. Thank you, homie.
Shout out to Sam.
Hey, guess what? If you want somebody to buy them, hey, hit the inbox. Let me buy food stamps. But anyway, man.
Disclaimer.
Hey, message.